Okay, so welcome to my calculator project. This took a very long time because I am not good with loops, but I think I figured it out. So, over here we're going to start with the initializations, which is basically like the building blocks to make sure that all of this actually works properly. Up here we got the while loop, which I'm going to go over it more later, but it just literally controls whether the program either restarts from like the beginning, which is over here, or it just ends and kicks you out of the entire program. Um, so here we got the actual like print statement and everything. This will like basically control whether if you write standard in uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter. It'll still take it. Like if I just write it like super messed up like that, it'll still operate. Then, as I was saying, um, the calculator will still operate even if you write the standard or the scientific like in capital or non-capital letters. Uh, over here we have oop, ignore that. Over here we have the loop that makes sure you actually put in an operation, and if you don't, then it just like repeats until you actually do. For example, if we put hello, it doesn't actually let you continue on to the next step. If I put hi, it still doesn't work. If I just do keyboard smash, it doesn't work. So if we start off with the plus addition, which is right here, the addition part, the addition section, it'll ask for how many numbers you want. Let's say 3. Oop, wrong part. Over here, 3. Then you enter, let's say 2, 5, and 1. You'll get the result down there, and then you'll get the start over YN. Over here, this literally is what takes in the input. If you put, for example, 4 numbers that you want to add, then it'll repeat until it has 4 numbers, and then it'll stop, and then it'll move on to the next part, which is over here. It'll store the input into this new variable created right here, num a. Then it'll take the result and put it into num a and then print it out. The result is never like a specific number. The result is always changing. So like for every loop, let's say the first loop, the number is 1, the result turns into 1. For the second loop, the result changes, and then that's how it keeps adding up the numbers. If we go on to the subtraction part, this part is a little different from the addition part because over here we put num minus 1 instead of just keeping it as num and then I plus plus. Over here I had to do this because it kept the values kept getting messed up right here, because over here in the addition part it starts off with the number 0 and then it adds the next numbers, but since it's addition, the 0 doesn't actually affect the result. But obviously with subtraction, division, and multiplication, you can't do that. So this this line right here, this makes sure that the first input that you actually put in right there, right there, it'll be the number that it's gonna start off with. So instead of starting off with 0 and then your input like 1, 2, or 5, it'll start off with 1 instead of 0. And that'll make sure that the result isn't all messed up. It's the actual accurate result. So if we test that out for negative, let's say 2, 10, and then 5, that'll be 5. It's 5.0 because all of the numbers are double. They're all double. They're not like integers, so they're gonna be like 5.0 and stuff like that. So if we do y and then try the multiplication part, let's say 2 numbers and then 5 and 2, it'll be 10. So that's working properly. Let's try that again. That'll be 2.5. Then down here we have the scientific mode, which this statement right here is basically the same as the one up here. It just makes sure that you're actually putting an operator, not just like some random word. The addition and the subtraction and the division multiplication part, it's all the same. It's copied and pasted from the standard mode. It works the same way. System, the result print, in case you wanted to know, it's specifically put in between these two curly braces because if you put this part inside of the loop, it'll print the result after every single number, and we don't want that, so we put it outside of the loop, but we make sure it's still inside of the block of the actual like the operation section. If we move down here onto sine, cos, and tan, I'm using VS Code, so like I had to play a little bit with the imports right here. Import the language, math, so that the sin, tan, and cosine could actually work. So right here we just have the equals, ignore case. And make sure that you can literally, oops, let's try that again. Scientific. You literally just put sin like this, and it'll still take it as an input. Then you got the radians right here. The radian for 3 in sine. That's a result. And then press Y to start over. Right here, this is where the input is being stored, and then right here is where it shows the actual result. Math.tan, math.cos, math.sin. It basically converts it and like takes away all the heavy part, all the complicated parts. That way you don't have to actually do it manually, which would suck. It would suck a lot. So it basically simplifies all of the work for you. The standard mode also has the casing, ignoring thing, where you can spell it out with capital letters and non-capital letters and it'll still work. Then down here we got the actual while loop, which determines if the program ends or not. So we put scientific. Let's put cos 2. If we put n, it'll just end the code right there because of the break, and then you'd have to like run the program all over again to like actually get it to start again. Try this again, scientific, tan, and then let's put 2. That'll be the result. If you put y, like it says in this section right here, it'll continue instead of ending the entire code. So yeah, that's my code. That's my calculator code. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I worked really hard on this. Like, it took a whole 3 days to try and figure out how to do like all of this right here and all of the loops and all the other stuff. But it ended up okay. I think I did pretty good on the actual code itself. But yeah, that's my code.